From Alabama, more than 2 decades as the voice of the Crimson Tide basketball and baseball teams, he's also hosted Nick Saban's TV show and will become the Tide's football play-by-play voice this season. This is the 6th win for Chris Stewart. From Arizona, 26 years as the Diamondbacks voice, he called nearly 4,000 Major League Baseball games, including the D-backs' 2001 World Series walk-off win, last year's runner-up finisher, but this is the first win for Greg Schulte. From Arkansas, went from 25 years as a coach to an analyst and host on the Razorbacks football and basketball games. His Razorback Daily podcast has more than 1 million listens in the last 2 years. He works for multiple outlets. Please welcome, for his first win, Matt Zimmerman. From Colorado, from gold medal winning captain of the 1984 U.S. men's volleyball team to 20 seasons as the voice of the Denver Nuggets, TV voice of the Denver Nuggets, 2-time Mountain Region Emmy Award winner in sports play-by-play. He was on the mic for his first NBA championship series in Nuggets history. This is the first win for Chris Marlowe. From Connecticut, in his second year as a sports anchor and reporter for WFSB-TV, he's the first ever winner from his station and the first ever African-American winner representing the state. This is the first win for Unkwa Asonye. Also from Connecticut, part of the Yukon radio family since 1992 and the full-time voice of Yukon's women's basketball since 2006. He's called 6 of the 11 national championships, including a winning streak of 90 and a winning streak of 111 games. This is the first win for Bob Joyce. From Florida, just finished his 47th straight season broadcasting basketball, the last 36 with the Miami Heat, 26 regional Emmy Awards, more than 2,600 regular season Heat games since the team's first season in 1989. This is the 4th win since 2017 for Eric Reed. From Idaho, over a decade broadcasting University of Idaho football and men's basketball games, he was at the mic in 2023 when the Vandals football team won 9 games and made their deepest playoff run since 1993. This is the 2nd win for Chris King. From Indiana, 12 years on the Indianapolis Colts radio network, the preseason voice of the Colts for the last 6, the voice of the USL's Indy 11 since 2014, nearly 300 state championship events for the Indiana High School Association. This is the first win for Greg Rackshaw. From Iowa, 20 years at WKWWL-TV in Cedar Rapids. His 2023 highlight came from following Caitlin Clark and the Iowa Hawkeyes to Dallas, where they upset #1 South Carolina en route to a national runner-up finish. This is the 2nd win for Mark Woodley. From Kansas, in his 8th season at his alma mater, as the voice of the Jayhawks, he called 2 KU Final Fours and 1 national championship game. I was at that game, unfortunately, covering North Carolina. This is the first honor for Brian Haney. From Louisiana, recently retired as the longest-running on-air personality in the 70-year history of Baton Rouge's WAFB TV, 39 years, 38 as the sports director and anchor, a record 7 times selected the AP's Best Large Market Sportscaster, and creator of the award-winning 34-year-old Sportsline Friday Night Football Show. He moved into a leadership role for the first time for its kind. Please congratulate Steve Schneider. From Maryland, in his 5th season as the play-by-play voice of my beloved Baltimore Orioles, he was at the mic for the team's 101 wins last season as the Orioles won the American League East. This is the first win for Jeff Arnold. All right, I need a break here. Hold on. I promise, Joe, I'm reading as fast as I can. From Mississippi, 23 seasons with the Bulldogs Sports Network, the past 10 as Mississippi State's TV voice on the SEC Network Plus, has captured many great baseball moments in Starkville, one of college baseball's premier environments. This is the second win for Bart Gregory. From Montana, in his 31st year behind the mic, he called his 17th Montana State 2A Volleyball Championship in 2023, as well as the state 2A Boys and Girls Basketball Championships. That adds up to nearly 50 state championships announced. This is the first win for Herm Ellenboz. From Nebraska, for the last 7 seasons, the radio voice of the University of Nebraska Kearney, with more than 40 Nebraska Broadcast Association and Associated Press awards, including 2 gold awards for Best Play-by-Play. In 2023, he called games at both the NCAA Division II volleyball and women's basketball tournaments. This is the first win for Jason Jorgensen. From Las Vegas, in his 25th season as Director of Broadcasting for the AAA Las Vegas Aviators and 12 years as the voice of UNLV Rebel football, he's interviewed more than 40 Major League Baseball Hall of Famers during his career and is adding his 12th Nevada award to the one he won in New Mexico. Congratulations, Russ Langer. From New Hampshire, about to enter his 2nd season as the radio play-by-play voice of the University of New Hampshire football, after 6 years as the color guy. Also called his 1st season of UNH basketball and 4th season as the voice of Southern New Hampshire University men's and women's basketball. He once arranged to adopt a dog, Cujo, while calling a high school basketball game. Again, that's an award just to win to do that, right? This is the 3rd win for Jason McAnisaac. From New Jersey, for the past 18 seasons, the radio voice of the New Jersey Devils, 30 years total on radio and television, a New York Emmy Award winner for outstanding sports coverage, and the New Jersey Sports Writer TV Radio Excellence Award winner. He called the Devils' record-setting 52-win season and 7-game playoff series win over the New York Rangers in 2023. This is the 3rd win for Matt Lachlan. From New Mexico, 8-time New Mexico Broadcasters Association Play-by-Play Award winner, on the mic for the 2023 season for the New Mexico High School Football and Basketball Championships, including calling 20 games during the New Mexico State Basketball Tournament, and called New Mexico Highlands football, basketball, volleyball, and soccer on TV and video. He's also the host Between the Lines and host and co-host of One-on-One 7-Team. This is the 3rd win for Scott Galletti. From New York, he's the only play-by-play broadcaster in the United States who currently calls all 4 major sports. About to enter his 30th season of NFL play-by-play with Fox in 2023 and called the Stanley Cup Finals for TNT. He has been the radio voice of the New York Rangers for nearly 3 decades and also calls Knicks games for MSG. His memoir, A Mike for All Seasons, was published last October. This is the first win for Kenny Albert. From the great state of North Carolina, he was part of the station's launch team in 2002 for Charter's News 14 Carolina. He's the sports director with what is now known as Spectrum News 1, a veteran of almost 30 years on North Carolina television and radio, my good friend, Mike Solarte. From Ohio, 26 seasons as the radio play-by-play voice for Ohio State football and basketball. He also hosts the Coaches Show and anchors sports, and every once in a while you can hear him as the substitute play-by-play announcer on the Cleveland Browns radio network. This is the 6th win for Paul Keels. From Pennsylvania, he's a 22-year veteran of NBC Sports Philadelphia and NBC 10, covering the Eagles' Super Bowl run in 2023 and the Phillies' World Series run in 2022. He's an anchor, reporter, and podcaster. This is the 2nd win for John Clark. From Rhode Island, he spent 35 seasons as the radio voice of the Providence Friars and a signature voice in the Big East Conference. He's also known as the 32-year-old public address voice for the New England Patriots and serves as a columnist for the Providence Journal. This is the 1st win for John Rook. From South Dakota, he's going into his 10th season at the University of South Dakota and his 4th season as the voice of Coyote football and his men's basketball. He was also on the mic for the WNIT Championship, the famous Hail Mary against in-state rival, and the best Division I season in Coyote football history. This is the 1st win for John Thayer. From Tennessee, he completed his 25th season as voice of the Titans, which includes his 500th career NFL broadcast. He also called what has been termed the biggest high school football game in Tennessee history as Chattanooga rivals Baylor and McKinley faced off for the state championship for the first time in their 100-plus year history. This is a great victory for Mike Keith. From Texas, 37 years on the Longhorn Radio Network, 23 seasons as the play-by-play voice of the Texas Longhorns. He's a 7-time Lone Star Emmy Award winner for play-by-play on television for Texas high school football state championships. This is the 2nd win for Craig Way. From Utah, she's been on Fox 13 in Salt Lake City for 4 years and is the only female sports reporter in Utah TV. You can also catch her on KBER 101 Radio and on the Jumbotron as an in-arena host for the Utah Jazz. This is her 1st win and the first time a woman has won Sportscaster of the Year in Utah. Big round of applause for Adrian Urban. From Vermont, he's the first state award winner from WPTZ in 24 years. He led the station's March Madness coverage and contributed to Hearst Broadcasting's coverage of the 2023 Boston Marathon. This is the 1st win for Noah Searson. From the state of Washington, the Detroit native is in his third season as the radio voice of the Seattle Kraken. He has been on the call for all of the team's historic moments, such as the Kraken's first playoff win, the first playoff clinch, first playoff win, and when the team set and then beat the record for the most consecutive wins. First win for Everett Fitzhugh. From West Virginia, this San Diego native and Oregon State alum has spent the last 3 years as sports director at WOWK-TV in Charleston, and tonight marks her swan song. She'll soon be starting a new job at Pittsburgh's KDKA-TV. This is the first win for Cassidy Wood. From Wyoming, he's entering his third year as a member of the Wyoming Cowboys football broadcast team, which is a dream come true for this former Wyoming Cowboy. He's won 22 awards for his play-by-play and sports coverage in 12 years of broadcasting, including back-to-back Wyoming Association of Broadcasters Best Play-by-Play Awards. This is the second win for Eric Pauley. All right, ladies and gentlemen, how about one more round of applause for all of our 2023 State Sportscasters of the Year.